Presentation of the team starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. We are representing Phone Trade University from Hanoi campus, and we bring here the presentation named FPT Local Prices, Global Quality. The story is about Vietnam-based top-tier technology company competing with top outsourcing providers by offering low prices and high human resources quality. We issue a buy recommendation on FPT with a target price of 80,880 VND, representing an upside of 41.6% within a year. And that's qualified by three main drivers: prospective market outlook, strong competitive positioning, and impressive shareholder value added. We'll be going over five main parts: company's overview, investment thesis, valuation, investment risk, and wrap it up with conclusion. Now let's start with company's overview. Founded in 1988, FPT was the pioneer in many fields, displaying excellent performance in 2003-2008 period, which boosted the company's ambition to expand its business. However, it turned out to be a diversification strategy, resulting in decreasing profitability margins. Learned from the mistake, FPT divested the share and reallocated its resources into three key segments: technology, the key driver, telecommunication, and education. Now, regarding the technology thesis, despite the 2007 global financial crisis, revenue of top outsourcing providers still display an impressive two-digit CAGR of 22.9% in 5 years, indicating IT spending immunity to macro factors. Thus, we believe that the outsourcing market will remain strong in the current volatile condition. Now, with respect to the industry condition, the global software spending, despite its major base size of nearly 1,000 billion USD, is expected to grow with CAGR of 6% in the next 5 years, strongly driving the outsourcing market. The gap only is equal to 18 times TCS 2018 revenue and more than 600 times that of FPT. Moreover, the industry witnessed the substantial shift from non-DX to DX segment with CAGR of 12.25%, increasing the DX market to nearly 2,300 billion USD in 2023, indicating a prospective market outlook. Next, we'll move on to the second thesis regarding competitive advantages, presented by Quang Vinh.
As we can see, FPT is in a potential industry. So the question is, what is FPT competitive advantages and strategy to capture this prospective and lucrative market? FPT is able to compete with global competitors by offering two key selling points: local prices, yet global quality. First, let's talk about local prices. FPT is currently offering considerably lower price services compared to global competitors from India, China, and Malaysia. This is mainly resulted from a lower salary base of $2,000 to $15,000 US in difference, and also is a relatively lower turnover rate of 10% in FPT side. In the future, to further strengthen its labor competitiveness, FPT has planned to develop a sustainable IT workforce by further expand its educational business with newly built campuses and complexes as long-term human supply for FPT software in the future. Secondly, regarding global quality, FPT is continuously improving its quality by acquiring top-tier clients such as Airbus, DB Group, or Innogy. This is also justified by a sharp increase in the number of customers in the Fortune Global 500. Moreover, FPT is also on the grind to improve its productivity, or revenue per headcount. Compare productivity with major global competitors such as TCS, Wipro, or Infosys. FPT's productivity is still relatively low, but has great potential to grow even more to reach the global standard of approximately $50,000 US in the next 5 to 10 years. In order to do so, FPT has planned to move up the value chain to consulting businesses or digital transformation services ideally. FPT executes two key actions to do this. First, implementing M&A strategy to acquire existing companies in the market, like the case of Intellinet, a US consulting firm. And secondly, building up its own digital transformations capacity and expertise with the establishment of FPT Digital Department. Thus, with the two key strategy, FPT will focus on the Japan and the US market as firm priority with expected CAGR of 16.6% and 26.9% respectively. Next, we move on to FPT's next key driver regarding its financial positions presented by my colleague, Yuma.
FPT has proved impressive value added to the shareholders, which can easily be seen in the ROE through the years. The ROE has always exceeded the cost of equity by large margins and expected to increase to reach 25% in 2028. FPT will definitely remain the positive performance due to three main factors, which are strong cash flow generation, improving solvency, and high earning quality. The cash flow from operation of FPT has always been positive, but there were fluctuations due to trading and retail characteristics in different periods. That's why after the divestment, the CFO was stronger and the CFO to net income ratio reached a great degree of 1.1. And we strongly believe that in the future, FPT will have an even stronger cash flow. The CFO will continuously increase to reach 14,000 billion VND, while the CFO to net income ratio will reach 1.3 in 2028. Having strong cash flow generation as CFO is 1.5 times as much as capex in 2018 and getting around 2 times in 2028 has FPT financed their investment projects mainly from equity. Moreover, the divestment from high leverage industry like trading and retail also improve FPT's solvency. The debt to equity ratio decreased from 0.9 to 0.5 and expected to decrease to 0.25 in 2028. As there are too many impressive factors lead us to a question if there is earning manipulation. So we carefully checked VDM score model to judge the possibility of the earning manipulation, and we found out that the M score has been good for almost every year but 2017 due to the accounting for investment in associates after the divestment from FPT Trading and FPT Retail, which is not the negative side. Then we can assure that FPT has really high earning quality. Now we will move on to the valuation part presented by Dylan.
To value FPT with the DCF and some of the part multiple valuation with a weight of 50-50, we show the buyer recommendation with a 41.6% upside. In our position model, we expect is a next 10 year, so preventive activity and the force. We try 90% figure of software receipt revenue. Moreover, so improving financial rate and stable market share, we also try the 7.5% figure of fixed line net revenue. Finally, to increase the number of enrollment in the tuition fee, we will approximately 20.5% figure of education revenue. Especially, software housing will be the key segment to lead the 30% figure of FPT total revenue from 2019 to 2028. For the DCF, we do free cash flow for the firm with a core revenue of 30.1% and the after-tax core debt of 3.8%. We arrive at the WACC of 11.5%. Also, we estimate terminal value based on terminal real risk of 1.5%. We arrive at a price of 83,000 VND per share. We support that some of the part multiple valuation to support our DCF. We select the peer for each segment based on the comparable business position, profitability, return to shareholder, and the earning growth. We arrive at a price of 78,000 VND per share, in which the software housing and fixed line net service account for the more portion of 60% and 90% respectively in FPT total value. Now, we move on to even risk and figure out how FPT mitigates the risk, which is presented by the guy.
About investment risk, we consider the lower than expected productivity growth and level cost shortage are two significant risks on business performance, as well as investment positions of FPT. Improving productivity growth is one of key investment thesis. Therefore, if any changes lead to low productivity growth, like shortage of high value added contracts or DX capabilities do not meet the customer needs, this could be the negative catalyst on stock performance. To figure out, we conduct a sensitivity analysis to see that the fluctuations of productivity growth affects little just intrinsic value. The second one is the risk from the shortage of Vietnam IT workforce. This could not only cap the revenue growth in the near future, but also affect the operations of FPT software, as we consider this business to be labor intensive. However, with strong determinations of FPT management in expanding its own workforce through FPT University, we believe this risk could be mitigated in the near future. When considering all the above risks, we conclude the range of target price represented in three different scenarios: bear, base, and bull, with upside potential of 36.9% for our closing price of 57.1 thousand Vietnam dollars. In summary, today we have presented the most appealing investment opportunity in Vietnam stock market. Strong buy with FPT, earning upside for 1.6% with three simple points. 1. Favorable market conditions. 2. Great business, a cheap price. And 3. Formidable earnings quality. Thank you for listening, and now the board is open for questions.